What's going on, everybody? Dave Benson here, and welcome to week 3 of the Inner Circle Mastermind Blueprint program for salespeople who want to take themselves to a whole nother level. I'm driving in Sydney today, and I wanted to record this video and talk to you about this week and this week's challenges, where we talk about taglines, titles, logos, and really this is the week that you perfect your personal brand, and you really get an idea of who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and how to articulate that in the best way. This video is so important that you really jump into every aspect of it, and this week and the PDF that's going to be down below for you to download. And the reason for that is that all your information on your website, your landing pages, your social media is really coming from this. Okay, so a lot of people, when they've started in the Inner Circle, they have struggled with knowing how to put together their titles, taglines, their logos, colors, all that sort of stuff, having the right photos on their social media, doing an introduction video. And the reason why they've struggled with it is because they're not clear about what they actually do and what benefit they actually give to a customer. And so I want to ask you straight away to start thinking about, on this video, what makes you different. Why a customer should buy a car from you over somebody else. If you can't articulate that, then I don't believe you're a personal brander, and I don't believe you're a salesperson. I was at an event recently with Tony Robbins, and in front of everybody, in front of about 4,000 people, he asked any salesperson to stand up. And of course, everybody with a big ego stands up. He goes over to one and he introduces himself, and he says, "Why should I buy your product or service from you over somebody else?" And in front of 4,000 people, this guy went to water. He didn't know what to say. And Tony, in his mentoring but invasive way, said, "Man, no offense, but that, the fact that you went to water and couldn't say anything, that's costing you money. It's costing you massive money. And seriously, you're not a salesperson if you can't articulate that." So I want you to think about this right now, is what are the 3 things that make you stand out from anybody else as a salesperson in the automotive industry? What makes you different? Why would somebody buy a car from you over somebody else? And you want to be beyond the cliches in this. In other words, you want to be able to articulate it beyond "I give good customer service." It's things like, how long you've been in the industry. Maybe you've been in the industry for 30 years, right? So you are an experienced and trusted salesperson. And the fastest and the easiest way to get this and find out what these 3 things are is look at customer testimonials that you've received, written testimonials or video testimonials. What are the 3 things that make you stand out? What made you different than anybody else? Okay, so you've got to be able to articulate that. That's really important. Okay, so let's talk about titles, taglines, logos, but overall your personal brand. Okay, so I want you to perfect this. Your title is simply what you do. So I'm going to always use Sean Hayes as the example. Sean Hayes, your car guy. Right? Very simple. He's not making it complicated. He's just saying exactly what he does. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is your title. And your title is a very simple thing for you to put together. You don't need to overcomplicate this. Your title is simply what you do. Okay, so I always use Sean Hayes as the example because he's a great one who came up with this very, very quickly. And he said, "Sean Hayes, your car guy." Right? That's what he does. He's the car guy. Okay, so you want to think about, you could be the truck guy, you could be the pre-owned guy, you can be the light commercial vehicle specialist, you can be the people mover specialist, right? What do you do? That's your title. Okay, then your tagline is separate. Your tagline is simply this. It is what your customer's biggest pain point is. And we talked about that last week in the Unsold Harry and the module, and make sure you go back and watch that video about your Unsold Harry. Is what are the biggest pain points that your customers have? What are the biggest frustrations they have? What are the biggest things that they hate about buying a car, right? So you want to pick the number one, and you want to write a tagline associated with that. Okay, so for example, Sean Hayes, I make car buying easy. Right, your car guy, I make car buying easy. And the reason why he's taken I make car buying easy is because the customer's pain point was that buying a car is hard. It's complicated. So what you do is you take the pain point and you deliver the opposite result. Okay, so if it is time, like I find that buying cars takes so long, right? So what you want to do is you want to be, I make car buying quick. It can be simple like that, right? If customers think that it's all serious and all business and and pressure based, is you can say I take the pressure out of car buying. You can say I make car buying fun. And so what this is it's not. You can always change it in the future, but most importantly, you just quickly execute and you think of the first thing that comes to your mind. You write down 3 options and then you share it with your pod to ask for feedback on which one they like for your title and your tagline. So titles and taglines should get done really quickly. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to put that title and tagline into a logo. And so what I would always encourage you to do is that your logo will be your name. Right? The main part of your logo will be your name. You will then pick either your title or your tagline to be in your logo. You won't use both generally because it overcomplicates a logo. Most logos out there, if you think about Apple or if you think about Coca-Cola or if you think about Toyota, is most of the logos, they don't even have the name of the brand in the logo. They just literally a graphical design. And so I would always encourage you to simplify it. It might even be your initials. You might like a format, and there is obviously in the inner circle, there is the portal. There's a whole stack of templates that we use, and you can just simply pick one, but don't make it complicated. Don't put your title, your tagline, your name in there. Don't put then an image in there. And then some people hit me up and say, I want my phone number and website on there. That's a flyer. Right? That's a brochure. That is not a logo. A logo. As I'm driving right now, I can see a Honda logo. I can see a Toyota logo. I can see a Lexus logo. I can see a church logo, the cross. Right. So make sure that it's really simple and effective. Now, you want to pick some colors. So there's a resource on canva.com, which you can just literally go there and you can find your color palette. So I always encourage you to pick 2 colors. You want them to be bold. If you're fart-assing around and you can't find your perfect color choices, let us know. We can help you out. But what we're always going to do is encourage you to go black and white. And the reason for that is that whether you're printing it out on a letterhead or you are putting it on a website, black and white is the strongest contrast, and therefore it makes your logo, stand out. Obviously, black background, white logo, or vice versa. But pick colors that suit you. Maybe pick colors that suit your brand. If you sell Toyota, you might use red. We never encourage, let me say this, we never encourage you to use, to put your in your title, tagline, or your logo, your brand. Unless you've been working with a brand for the last 30 years and you wouldn't sell anything else, I would encourage you not to. Just like Sean changed from Hyundai to Toyota, if he had have had his brand, his logo, his title, his tagline associated with Hyundai, he would have had to change, I nearly ran up the back of somebody right then, he would have had to change his complete branding, which is, you're not branding the dealership, you're branding yourself, okay? So keep that one in mind. Okay, so we've covered the title, we've covered the tagline, and we've covered the logo. What else do you need to perfect this part of your personal brand? Well, what you need those 3 things of what makes you stand out versus everybody else, why a customer would buy a car from you. But what you also need is you need a strong presence on your website and social media, and the fastest way that you can have a strong presence is with video and photography. Okay, so your video content is generally going to be number one, focused on an introduction video. Okay, so an introduction video is simply a get to know you video. It goes for 1 minute, between 1 and 2, but try to get it to 1 minute. It's saying, hey, this is Dave Benson here. I'm the sales coach. And on this short video, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and why buying a car from me is always a fun process. Stay tuned, right? So you can intro it like that. And then literally you want to say, okay, so I grew up in Sydney. I've been in Sydney for 35 years. I now live in Bali with my wonderful 3 kids. I'm a massive Essendon Bombers supporter. Talk about your passions, because people are going to resonate with that. You know, and I love working in the automotive industry. I've been there for 17 years in the automotive industry, held multiple positions, and now I get the privilege of working with salespeople in order to grow themselves and reach their fullest potential. Okay, so let me give you an example of how you would script it. You would say, I'm going to use me as if I work in a dealership like I'm going to right now, is I'm going to say, hey, this is Dave Benson here, and thanks for watching my video. In this short video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and why I love being a car salesman here at the Audi Centre in Sydney. Bang. Okay, so you know, you cut away and you might record, you know, some of your video footage of around your dealership, and you say, so I am the husband of 1, the father to 3, and I've been working here at the Audi Centre at Sydney for the last 4 years. My favourite car in the Audi range is the Audi A3, and the reason why I love it is because of its engineering brilliance, its power, its performance, and it looks quite cute. Okay, so you tell a little bit about why you love the car and why you love your dealership, right? And why you love the industry, how long you've been in it. And then you talk a little bit about yourself. So, you know, like I said, I'm a Bomber supporter. I'm an Essendon Bomber supporter. I love the AFL, but I also love nothing better than on a Sunday afternoon in summertime to be sitting by the pool and watching the cricket. I've been living in Sydney all my life, and I work at this fantastic dealership, which I've always aspired to work at. And the main thing that customers like about buying a car with me is they find the process really simple, really easy. So what I hope to be able to do is to make that process really simple for you. I look forward to seeing you when you're next looking for a Audi. Bang. Okay, so that's a personal branded intro video, and I'll give you the steps on the PDF. I'll give you the 8 steps and questions that you can literally answer those questions, and you've got your perfected intro video. But the next thing that you need high quality professional photos, photography of you in your natural environment, in your natural habitat, which is your dealership. Okay, and so I would encourage you to get a friend, a family member, get somebody that you know that has got a really good quality digital camera to come in and take some photos for you. Even if you recruit somebody and spend a few $100s on a local photographer, it's going to be well worth that money invested to have some good quality pics in and around your dealership, interacting with customers. And they can also do some short B-roll, which is just basically filming of your dealership as well, that you could use in your intro videos. Okay, so you want to be able to always have a suite of professional high quality photos, and you also definitely want a high quality profile pic for things like LinkedIn and so on all your social medias. Okay, so you're going to need to get somebody to help you out with that. You using a selfie stick or just taking selfies is not going to be good enough. So I hope that's helped. Titles, taglines, logos. We've talked about what makes you stand out from the pack. We've talked about the intro video and also taking high quality professional photos. That's what I'm going to need for your website. That's what you're going to need for your social media in order to take that to the next level. I'm a big fan of putting your photo on everything that you possibly can. Be like a real estate agent and continually brand yourself out there with your face. Your face, your name is your personal brand. Okay, so don't overcomplicate this. I want to make this really clear. Don't overcomplicate this process of putting together the title, tagline, logo. You really want to come up with 3 quick options. You want to put it to the pod members. That's why you're in a pod in the inner circle, and you can pick one really quickly, get your logo designed, get it all done, get your website perfected, and move on with the rest of the journey. Anyway, make sure that you follow the PDF instructions below, download that, print that out, follow the challenges, and we'll see you on the next video.